How do you sell when no one is buying? It's a daunting question for many B2B sales leaders weathering the storm of the pandemic and preparing for recovery. Jeff Molander is a sales communication expert, international speaker and coach who says unconventional times require an unconventional approach. Jeff, thanks so much for taking some time to be with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Decision makers are bombarded with emails and calls. Getting through to them pre-crisis was difficult enough, even worse now. How can marketers and sellers break through that noise?
By realizing by having some perspective on the whole situation, I think, Sharon, sales and marketing people don't seem to understand two very big issues. Number one, the quantity of messages that their customers are receiving. And number two, the very low quality of their message. And as a result, their message is blending in with the noise. So the first step to starting more customer conversations is to understand that there is a difference between sales and marketing, copywriting, and the way sales and marketing speak. So sales seeks the specific outcome of conversations. Marketing seeks clicks, downloads, views. So here's why this is important. In marketing, we use calls to action. We tell the customer what we want them to do. And in sales, that just doesn't work. Customers run the other way. So in marketing, we drip emails, we run campaigns, and we blast emails. And in sales, that just doesn't work. So using marketing tactics and selling contexts didn't work before the crisis, and they certainly won't work now. Last year, in fact, Sharon, Gartner predicted that marketers will totally abandon personalization efforts in less than 4 years in direct mail, email, whatever. I mean, think about that. No more personalization. That's how jaded customers are, and that's how toxic conventional marketing practices have become. They just don't work.
Well, you say you really have to differentiate, and it's all about the language. There's a big difference between a marketing email and a sales email.
Very true. Absolutely. We see a lot of hyperbole. We see adverbs, adjectives used excessively by marketers to persuade and to convince. And that's what customers tend to resist. This is why they're so jaded. So instead, our customers are finding, who are salespeople mostly, sales and marketers, they're taking a less is more approach, using fewer words, less persuasive words, and in doing so, provoking curiosity. So think of it like a first date. The more that you talk about yourself, the less space that you give the other person to formulate questions about you. The more that you sell yourself, the less attractive that you become. It's the same in business courtship. So for example, you can ask a customer to meet with you, or you can provoke their curiosity when they ask you for the meeting. Wouldn't that be nice, right? So what our customers have learned is, human beings value more what they ask for, and they value less what you offer them. So what we do is we try to use words in ways that help customers persuade themselves to ask for the meeting. So rather than you persuading them, they persuade themselves. It's different. It's unconventional. It's pretty cool.
Well, and everything about the status quo is changing. Do businesses even know what they need to survive the pandemic and what to do once they've turned the corner?
Boy, that's a great question. I have to say, not really. So far, leaders don't seem to have a good answer for how to sell when nobody is buying, as you say. They seem to have kind of developed a scent of what they should do. We see more sensitivity to the obnoxious level of type of messages and being sensitive to how much we're trying to contact people. But because sales operations relies on customers needing to buy, it's very difficult because most customers aren't buying right now. They're not even forecasting their own sales because they can't, because customers don't know what tomorrow looks like. But this crisis, the status quo keeps shifting. So there's all this uncertainty. But what our customers are doing is interesting in that we're finding success using sales and marketing messages, focusing on one idea, and that is helping customers prepare to buy later as a conversation starter. So I recommend doing two things. One, identifying people who, given the current circumstances, which are all not very good, but identifying people who are likely to need your solution And then two, offering a way to prepare for when after occurs, for when we turn the corner on this thing. So that's a way in. That's a better way in. That's how I'm seeing customers, our customers, starting discussions with their targets who aren't ready to buy yet, but who will be ready to buy once we turn the corner. So the way forward, I think, is helping buyers get closer to understanding what they need, to rise above the unknowns and plan for future needs. And this requires kind of predicting future circumstances, which is hard, and a bold, unconventional way to start conversations with customers.
Great advice. And Jeff, as you say, there are no shortcuts to this. Sales leaders need to do their homework. They need to be authentic and, perhaps most important, be relevant. We thank you so much for taking some time to share with NewsPoint today.
My pleasure.